English is not a school subject. It's your superpower. What if English could completely change your future? Have you ever wondered why so many people around the world are learning English? Maybe you think English is just other school subject, something you study for an exam, something you have to memorize because your teachers told you. You learn English grammar, you memorize vocabulary, you complete exercise, you take a rest, and then you forget most of it. But what if I told you that English is much more than a school subject? English can be superpower. It can connect you to the people whose help never met. You can help you discover opportunity that you never knew exist. It can help you find a better information, communication with people from a different country, travel with your more confident, build your career, grow your business, and become a different vision of yourself. So today, I want you to stop thinking about English as something you have to study. Instead, start thinking about English as a tool that changes your future. 1. English can open the door to your future. Imagine standing in front of the two doors. Behind the first door is everything you already know. Your current skill, your current opportunity, your current limitation. Behind the second door is much bigger the world. More information, more people, more opportunity, and more possibility. English can be the key that help you open the second door. Of course, English alone will not magically make you successful. But English can give us about the success. Access to knowledge, access to communication, access to opportunity. Think about how much information exists in English. Million of the video, million of the book, million of the websites, online courses, tutorial, podcast, interview, research, business information, technology, and education content. When you understand about the illness, your learning world becomes much bigger. You are no longer limited to the information available in only one language. You can search, you can listen, you can read, you can learn. You can ask a question, you can communication, then suddenly the world becomes a classroom. That is why English is not just a subject. English is access. Number 2, English can help your career. Now let's talk about your career. Imagine the two people applying for the same opportunity. Both have the similar skill. Both are hardworking. Both are motivated. But one person can communicate comfortably others, and the other person cannot more opportunity. Why? Many international workplace, English can make communication easier. You may need English to communicate with the international customers, and may need English to formatting. You may need English to read a document. You may need English to use professional software, and you may need English for online training. You may even need English for a job interview. And the important thing is this: you don't need to speak perfect English. You don't need a perfect accent. You don't need a solution of the complicated word. You need enough English to communicate your idea clearly. This is the goal. Don't tell yourself, my English isn't perfect, so I cannot get a better job. No. Instead of telling yourself, you should say, I will improve my English so I can create more opportunity for myself. Your English doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to become the better that it was yesterday. Numbers 3. English can help you travel. Now imagine that yourself traveling to the other country. You arrive on airport. You need to find your hotel. You need to ask for direction. You want to order food. You need help. You meet someone from the other country. What language might help you communicate? Very often English can give you confidence when you travel. Instead of being afraid to speak, you can ask a question. You can start conversation. You can make friends. You can understand sign and instruction. You can solve any problem. And most importantly, you can enjoy the experience. Because traveling is not only about seeing beautiful place, but it's also about connecting with the people. Imagine you are sitting in the coffee in the other country and having a conversation with someone who's never met before. You don't share the same hometown. You may not share the same culture. You may not share the same first language, but you can't communicate. That is a power. English create connect. And English can help you connect with the people from the other world of the country. English 4. English can help you to build a business. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want already have one. Maybe you want to sell a product online. Maybe you want international customer. Maybe you want to work with people from the different country. This can become the important tool. And internet has made the world smaller. A person sitting in a small city can't communicate with someone on the other side of the world. You can learn marketing from the international expert. You can watch a business tutorial. You can start a successful company. You can communicate with the customer. You can build an international audience. You can create content. You can promote your idea. And you can learn from the people who have already achieved what you want to achieve. Think about that. You don't need to want for someone to come and teach you everything. You can go online and learn. But sometimes the biggest barrier isn't information. The biggest barrier is a language. That's why learning English can be investment in yourself. Not just for today, but it's for the future. Number 5. English can change the way you sing. There's the other benefit of the learning English that many people don't talk about. The learning the other language can challenge you to sing differently. When you learn a new word, you discover a new way to express an idea. And you listen to someone who's the other culture. You discover different perspective. When you communicate with people from the other country, you realize that the world is much bigger than your own environment. You begin to understand different culture, different opinion, different lifestyle, different way of solving the problem, and slowly your world becomes bigger. You become more and more open-minded. You become more confident. You become more curious, and you become to realize. You can't say, I can't learn anything if I am willing to keep going. That got phrases. That mindset is no more valuable than English itself. Because once you learned how to learn, you can continue growing for the rest of your life. Number 6. Don't wait until English is perfect. Nowadays, one big problem. Many people want to learn English, but they are afraid to use it. They think, My grammar isn't good. My pronunciation is bad. I don't know enough vocabulary. People will laugh at me. So they say silent and they wait. They want until their English become the perfect. But he is this true nature. Your English will not become perfect by staying silent. You improve it by using it. You make a mistake, you learn, you try again. You make other mistake, and you learn again. That's how progress works. Think about the child learning to walk. A baby doesn't stand up and say, I need perfect balance before I take my first step. No. The baby try, fall, get back up, try again, and eventually walk. Learning is the same. You don't need to perfect to start. You need to start to become the better. So speak. Even if your sentence is simple, read. Even if you don't understand every word, listen. Even if you understand only part of the conversation, write down. Even if you make a comma mistake, every mistake is part of the journey. No, 7. The small progress can create the big future. You might be thinking, I don't have much time to learn English. That's okay. You don't need to study for 5 hours every day. Start small, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 13 minutes. The important thing is consistency. Imagine learning 5 new words of 5 words every day. 5 words may sound like much, but after a month, you learn around 150 words. After a year, there's more than 1,800 words. And imagine the combination to come up stories that the listening and speaking practice. Small accent can become the powerful when you repeat them. So don't focus only on how far you can have to go. Focus on today's step. Learn one phrase today. Listen one song in this conversation. Speak for 5 minutes, or I will choose in turn. Then go it again, tomorrow, and next day, and the next day. One day you will look back and realize, wow, my English has changed. Not because of the one big study session, but because you never stop. No, 8. Yourself 1 year from now. Now I want you to imagine that today is the beginning. You decide to take English seriously. You practice every day. You stop being afraid of the mistake. You listen to the English. You speak English. You read English. You learn useful phrases. You practice conversation. You become more confident. Now imagine yourself 1 year from today. Maybe you can understand the movie the better. Maybe you can speak with international friends. Maybe you can apply for a better job. Maybe you can travel with more confidence. Maybe you can create an English content. Maybe you can communicate it to customer around the world. Maybe you can study something you don't understand before. Maybe you can simply feel proud because you finally keep the promise to yourself that the future vision of you is waiting. But you had to start today. No, 9. English is your tool, not your test. So I want you to change one sentence in your mind. Don't say, I have to learn English because it is a subject. You should say, I am learning English because I want more possibility in my life. That is completely different mindset. When the English is only a subject, you can study because you have to. When the English is a tool, you study because you want something. You want a better career. You want to travel. You want to communicate. You want to learn. You want to be a business. You want a confident. You want freedom. And you have a reason to learn become more meaningful. You don't just memorize a word. You do understand why does word matter. Noble 10. Your English should need start today. So what if English could completely change your future? Maybe it can't, because English is a magic. It can change your future because it changes what you can do in English. You gain access to information. You communicate with more people. You discover new opportunity. You become more confident. You learn about the world, and you discover more about yourself. Don't worry about speaking perfect English. You compare your English to someone else. Don't be embarrassed by your mistake. You wait for the perfect moment. Stay with what you know. Use the word you have. Learn a little every day and keep moving forward. Because in every English word, you can learn to each other toward in your toolbox. Every conversation you practice build your confidence. Every mistake teach you something. Every you practice bring you closer to your goal. And one day you may realize that we're not simply learning English. You were building a new version of yourself. So remember this. English is not just a school subject. English is communication. English is opportunity. English is connection. English is knowledge. English is confident. And most importantly, English can be your superpower. So start today. Learn one word, speak one sentence, listen to the conversation. Take a small step. Because your future doesn't change all at once. It changed one small decision at that time. And maybe the decision to learn English today become one of the best decisions you ever made. Okay, at the end, thank you for your watching. Keep learning, keep practicing, keep believing in yourself. And remember, your English doesn't have to be as perfect. It just to keep moving forward. Good luck.